Today we want to look at major scales in grade 1. That's how to attempt the questions, how to approach the questions. And here the question says, write the required scales and slur the semitones. Please don't forget this, slur the semitones. So I have highlighted it. Don't forget that. Now, the first scale is D major scale ascending without key signature. When you are asked to write a scale without key signature, that means you write it with the appropriate accidentals on the note requiring them. It means you don't show the key signature at the beginning. You write your scale and apply the key signature accidentals only on the notes requiring it or requiring them. Now, let's do D major. The first thing you do, since this is a major scale, the first thing you do, just locate a comfortable position for D on the stave that will enable you to ascend. Now, for me, I'll choose this D position. Remember that the first line of the treble stave is E, so it means D is below. And also, let me refresh your memory. Your scale must have 8 notes. So let's go. So I'll use semi-briefs. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now, please note, my starting note is the same letter name as my last note, because this is D and that is D. Now, if you write a scale and your starting note and the last note, the 8th note, is not the same, that means you have made a mistake. So always watch out. Immediately you finish writing your notes, check that the letter names of note 1 and note 8 are the same. Now we have D to D. Now this is ascending. Now the next question you ask yourself is, what are the key signature accidentals in D major? If you have studied your key signatures well, you will agree that D major has F sharp and C sharp as key signature. So D major would have F sharp and C sharp as its key signature accidental. So knowing that now, you now have to look for F in these letters and put a sharp to it. Now, this is F. This is letter F. So I'll put a sharp on it. And then I'll look for letter C and add a sharp for it. This is letter C, and I add a sharp to it. So now I have indicated the key signature accidentals on the note requiring them. Don't forget, you still need to slur the semitones. That is, slurring the semitones means show the positions of 2 notes standing side by side with each other that are a semitone apart. Now, I'll look at it. Now, the normal position is that D and E is a tone. Now, this is E and F sharp is another tone. So there's no semitone there. But F sharp and G is a semitone. You know, this boils down to the keyboard. If you sketch the keyboard and look through these notes, you'll be able to see the semitones clearly. Now, there's a semitone existing between the 3rd note and the 4th note. And if you continue again, you'll discover that another semitone exists between the 7th and the 8th note. So I'll put my slur there again. So now I have indicated my scale. I have added accidentals to the note requiring them, and I have slurred the semitones existing. Now we move to B. In the case of B, the clef has changed and we are looking at F major scale. Remember, all major scales have semitones by positions. That's between the third note and the fourth note. And it has between the seventh and the eighth note. That is for major scale. So since we are writing another major scale here, it's going to be the same. But please watch out. The clef has changed and we are now doing a descending scale. That is, your scale, instead of going, because this was ascending, you see the way it goes. Now this is descending. It's going to descend. So please watch out. So we are starting on F. Look for a comfortable F position on the stave that will enable you to descend without too much difficulties. And always try to avoid starting at a position that will involve the use of too many ledger lines, because that will cost you time in the exams. So for me, I'll go for, I know that this line 4 in the bass stave is F. So I'd rather just go there and start my descension there. That's my first note, second note. You see, I'm descending, third note, fourth note, fifth note, sixth note, seventh note, and the eighth note. Remember, I told you, when you are done, check that your first note and the last note are the same letter name. Now, this is F, and that is F. Remember, we are working with bass clef. So now I have written the descending scale. Now I need to show the key signature accidental in F major. And the key signature accidental in F major is B flat. So what I'll just do is that I'll look for B flat out of these 8 notes and put a flat. To the best of my knowledge, line 2 is letter B in bass stave. So I'll just go ahead and put my flat on letter B. Now I have shown the key signature accidental. Remember, we still have one more thing to do, and that is indicating the position of the semitones by putting a slaw. Remember, I said in major scales, the slaws or the semitones exist between notes 3 and 4, 7 and 8. But now that we are descending, it's going to be 8/7 and 4/3. So that's where our semitones are. So please try your hands on more questions, and you won't find writing major scales in grade 1 difficult at all. Now, let's continue on our major scales. The previous video you saw was writing scales without key signature. But here we are going to look at writing scales with key signature. We are still writing major scales, and it's still grade 1. Now, question C says G major descending with key signature. Now, the key signature accidental in G major is F sharp. You have F sharp. Now, what you do, because you are asked to show the key signature, you write first the key signature of G major. And this is F sharp on the bass clef. So you put your sharp on F. Now you have indicated the key signature. And the next thing you do is you now write your scale. Remember, your scale is starting on letter G and it must end on G. Now we are writing a descending scale. So take a G position that will enable you to descend smoothly without involving too many ledger lines. And for me, the best G I'm seeing is this. Remember, the last line of the bass stave is letter A. So it means the space above is B. Now, this space here, if this is A, you know this will be G. So because I'm descending, it's better I start here so that I can descend smoothly. So I'm going to start here. That's my first note, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth. Now check. I started on G and I'm ending on G. Always note that. Now we now need to show our semitones. I told you all major scales have slows between degrees 3 and 4, 7 and 8. In this case that we are descending, it's going to be 8 and 7, then 4 and 3. So we have finished that question. That is G major descending scale with key signature. And I have indicated the semitones. Now we come to question D. We are still writing these with key signature and the clef has changed. If you lose sight of the clef, you are definitely going to make a mistake. Now we want to write C major with key signature. Now, to the best of my knowledge, and you should know that C major has no key signature. It has neither sharp nor flat. So because it hasn't, you just leave your stave like that because there's nothing to show. So the next thing you do an ascending scale. And for me, the best position of C that will enable me to ascend smoothly is this position. That is where you have middle C. So on that note, I'll start my first note there, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. Have I not missed something? Oh, I've jumped. You see, that's why you should pay attention so that you don't jump any line or space. Now, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then that is 7, and that is 8. Now, when you are done, check. This is C, and that is C. That's the first thing you should always check. And please endeavor to spread your notes well so that it would look neat. Don't cluster your notes together. Don't choke your notes together. Utilize the whole stave that you are given. Spread your notes well so that your scale will look beautiful. So we have done C major ascending, no key signature, so there's nothing to show. So the only thing left is for us to slow the semitones. Remember, for major scales, your slows are at 3 and 4, then 7 and 8. So we are done with writing major scales. Try your hands on other questions and you'll find that writing major scales is actually fun. So try your hands on more questions and you'll see it is not difficult.